Here we are, guys, in part 2 of this story. In the Land of Waves, our favorite blonde encounters the Kyuubi. Watch the subsequent events unfold as Naruto uses the power that was sealed inside of him on the day of his birth. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Now, let's begin. The 4 ninja, plus Tazuna set out of the Leaf Village for the Land of Waves, the location of their next mission. They had been walking for roughly a few hours now. During the beginning of their trip, Kakashi explained about the layout of the ninja world and that there were 5 major shinobi nations. Each of those nations had a corresponding cage that was the leader of the ninja in that nation. However, the Wave Country was a small nation that didn't have any ninja to protect it, although ninja don't normally bother it because of its size. He also explained that it was common for ninja of different countries to encounter one another and do battle as missions between countries tended to interfere with one another. Don't worry though, Kakashi reassured. This is a C-rank mission, which means we won't encounter ninja from other nations. It was at that moment that Kakashi spotted an out-of-place puddle in the road ahead of them. As the group passed, 2 cloaked figures appeared from the puddle. They had claws surrounding their hands with a spiked chain connecting them. Before anyone knew what was happening, the cloaked ninja charged Kakashi, entangling him in their chain. As the 2 pulled on the chain, Kakashi was instantly ripped to shreds. The 3 Jonin stood there horrified. "Kakashi-sensei," they shouted. "1 down," the enemy ninja said. "2 down." They suddenly appeared behind Naruto. They struck at him with their claws. Naruto was too petrified with fear to move. However, Naruto was spared when Sasuke flung a shuriken and kunai at the ninja's chain, pinning it firmly into a tree. Sasuke proceeded to deliver a few kicks to the face of the enemy. When they got the chance, the ninja detached their chain, bolting around Naruto and Sasuke. Their target was Tazuna. Sakura jumped in front of the bridge builder, ready to defend them from the enemy's attack. Before they could strike, Kakashi appeared and knocked the pair to the ground, unconscious but not dead. Everyone realized then that Kakashi had used a substitution when he was attacked. "Naruto, sorry I didn't save you immediately. I didn't think you would freeze like that," Kakashi said to his student. "Damn it. I couldn't do anything." But Sasuke, it was his first real battle, yet it didn't faze him at all. "He saved me," Naruto thought to himself. "Hey you," Sasuke said to Naruto. "You alright, scaredy cat?" Naruto was getting really pissed at Sasuke's smugness until he realized a wound on his hand. "Naruto, save it for later," Kakashi said, picking up on the wound as well. "Their claws are poisoned. We must open the wound and remove it, or you will die." Kakashi turned his attention to their client. "Tazuna, I need to talk to you. These are Kirigakara Chunin." The 2 ninja finally woke to find themselves tied to a tree. "How did you read our movements like that?" one asked. "On a sunny day like this, when it hasn't rained, there is not going to be a puddle," Kakashi explained. "If I wanted to, I could have killed you, but I needed to know who you were after. Ninja attacking ninja is something we have to deal with, but their target wasn't one of us, right Tazuna?" Everyone turned to the bridge builder. "We haven't heard that there were any ninja after you. We were only hired to protect you from thieves or gangs. This was supposed to be a C-rank mission, but it has now become a B rank, if not an A rank. I'm sure you have your reasons, but the mission becomes more complicated when information is left out. Sorry, but we aren't ready for this mission. We need to head back and get Naruto some medicine for that wound," Sakura said, a little relieved. Unfortunately for her, Naruto had to open his mouth. Suddenly, blood splattered to the ground. Naruto had pierced his own hand with a kunai. Everyone looked on in shock. "Naruto, what are you doing?" Sakura screamed. "Damn it, why am I always so far behind?" Naruto asked. "I've completed many missions and even practiced just 2 on my own every day. I should become stronger. I won't lose to you anymore, Sasuke. With this kunai, I will protect the old man and continue this mission." "Naruto," Kakashi said, smiling. "It's good that you're releasing the poison, but any more and you'll die from blood loss." Kakashi helped Naruto to close the wound, but saw that it was already healing itself at an accelerated rate. He knew why. The Kyuubi. Kakashi just wrapped the hand and told Naruto that he will be alright. The Konoha ninja agreed to continue the mission, but told Tazuna that this mission was becoming at least a B rank and that he would have to pay the village when the funds become available. "You failed," a rather short man shouted in a castle far away. "You were supposed to be very strong, former ninja." Getting pissed off at the little man's yelling, one of the ninjas swung his sword, stopping just before it cut into the man's neck. "Stop bitching. This time I'll go and kill them myself, the masked ninja said. Hey, are you sure? It seems as if the enemy has hired some skilled ninja, the short man said. And with the failure of the demon brothers, they are aware of us now. Who do you think I am? The masked ninja said, irritant. There's a reason I'm called the demon of the hidden mist, Zabuzama Mochi. A few more days of traveling passed and the group of 5 came to the edge of the sea where a farrier was waiting to take them from the land of fire to the land of waves. The boat was small and it was barely able to hold the 6 of them, not to mention it almost tipped a few times because of Naruto. Soon, Dazuna's fabled bridge came into view and Naruto had to admit that it was impressive as he stood up to observe, nearly tipping the boat, again. Wow, it's huge, Naruto shouted out. Suddenly, he was silenced by Dazuna and the farrier. Why do you think we are hiding in the mist and the motor isn't running? We don't want Gato to find us. The farrier said. Who's Gato? Sakura asked. He's a wealthy shipping merchant known across the great nations. He came to our country, promising a boom to our economy. However, after a little, it was clear that he was only taking over our economy for his own gain. He quickly took control of our shipping companies, the major source of income for us. Over time, he took over our economy using his secret drug trade and some of the ninja he employs. Through force, he now has a monopoly on all shipping traffic into and out of our country, Dazuna explained. The only thing he has to fear is the completion of that bridge. So that is why those ninja were after you, Sasuke realized. But why did you hide the fact that ninja were after you? Because of Gato, the wave country is poor. Even the feudal lord has no money. We can't afford an expensive B-rank mission right now, Dazuna explained. The group got off the boat, but Kakashi had an uneasy feeling. He knew that if they attacked again, it would be by Jonin-level ninja this time. Suddenly, Naruto heard something off in the bushes and tossed a few shuriken, just barely missing a poor rabbit. However, Kakashi was even more suspicious. The rabbit was a white snow rabbit, yet it was late spring. Suddenly, Kakashi knocked his team to the ground as a large sword came flying towards them. When Kakashi looked up, he saw a man standing on the hilt of the blade, Zabuzama Mochi. Everyone stay back. This guy's on a whole different level, Kakashi said. He lifted his headband to reveal a red eye with 3 black marks, a Sharingan. Hey, so you would be Sharingan, Kakashi, Zabuza said. This shocked Sasuke that Kakashi had a Sharingan, the dojutsu of his clan. I already get to see the famed Sharingan, I'm almost honored. What's the Sharingan? Naruto asked. It's one of the 3 great dojutsu, also known as the copy wheel, Sasuke explained, as it was part of his clan. It's said that the Sharingan gives the user the ability to defeat all types of taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. But that's not all. That's right, Zabuza said. What's even scarier is that you can copy your opponent's techniques once you see them. Kakashi, when I was a Jonin for the Hidden Mist, there was a page in my bingo book about you. It said that you had copied over 1,000 jutsus. What's going on? The Sharingan only appears in a select few members of the Uchiha clan? Sasuke thought to himself. Zabuza jumped off the tree and landed on water, just a few meters away. Kakashi attacked the ninja, who just turned to water, revealing it to be a water clone. Before Kakashi knew what was happening, Zabuza appeared behind him. Suiten, water prison jutsu, Zabuza called out as Kakashi became trapped in a ball of water. Zabuza then made another water clone to deal with the kids while he held Kakashi prisoner. Humph. Wearing headbands and acting like ninja, the water clone said. But you know what? A real ninja is someone who has survived numerous brushes with death. Basically, once you're good enough to be listed in my bingo book, then you can call yourself a ninja. The clone disappeared, only to reappear and kick Naruto, sending him flying and knocking his headband off. Take Dazuna and run. You're no match for him. His clone can't move far away, and he's stuck here keeping me prisoner, Kakashi yelled out. As the clone began to move towards Naruto, he thought he was really going to die there. He froze again, but suddenly realized the oath that he had sworn a little while ago. Naruto charged at Zabuza, only to be sent back to where Sasuke and Sakura were standing. However, he got what he wanted. Naruto was able to reclaim his forehead protector from Zabuza's clone. Put this in your handbook, you browless freak. I'm the one who will become Hokage one day. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto exclaimed. Sasuke, lend me your ear. Sasuke didn't like the idea of working with Naruto, but realized that he had no choice. The clone laughed. When I was your age, I had already slaughtered my entire class. That is how I got the name, the Demon of the Hidden Mist. The Hidden Mist graduation exam? Kakashi asked, still trapped in water. Ah, so you've heard of it, Zabuza said. Wait, what exam? Sakura asked. Hee, fights to the death between students, Zabuza said, letting some killer intent loose. Children raised together as friends, were pitted together until one lost their life. 10 years ago, the Hidden Mist changed their graduation exam as a result of one child who killed his entire class, without pause or hesitation, Kakashi said. Zabuza. It was at that moment that Sasuke attacked the clone, only to be forced to the ground. He was starting to cough up blood. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto said, making about 30 clones of himself. They jumped at Zabuza with their kunai, only to be dispelled by one swing of his sword. As Naruto slid past Sasuke, he handed his teammate a Fuma shuriken. Sasuke threw the shuriken at the real Zabuza, not the clone. However, he caught it. What? Another shuriken in the shadow of the first? Zabuza said as another shuriken sailed towards him. He couldn't catch this one. However, he jumped to dodge the second shuriken. Sasuke's attack had missed. Or did it? The second shuriken disappeared in a puff of smoke, revealing that Naruto had been transformed into the shuriken. Before landing in the water, Naruto threw a kunai at the mist jonin. It was aimed for the back of his neck and he wasn't going to be able to dodge this one. Zabuza did the only thing he could. He jumped back, releasing Kakashi from his prison. Great plan, you two, he said to Naruto and Sasuke. Hey, I just got distracted and released the jutsu, Zabuza said, trying not to admit he had been bested by a couple of brats. No, they forced you to move, Kakashi stated. It was now Zabuza versus Kakashi. The two ninja jumped away from each other. Zabuza flipped through a series of hand seals as Kakashi copied the seals exactly at the same time. Sushin, Water Dragon Jutsu. They both said at the same time. Two water dragons rose up out of the water and began to do battle with one another. In the end, it was a draw. Zabuza was shocked that Kakashi was following him so close and so exact. My movements, is he? Zabuza was interrupted. Reading them? Kakashi finished. Kakashi flipped through a few more seal, shocking Zabuza. Sutin, Water Vortex. Kakashi called out as a blast of water sent Zabuza crashing back into a tree. How? Zabuza said, weakly. Can you see the future? Yeah, Kakashi responded. You're going to die. Just as he said that, two Senbon came sailing out of nowhere and nailed Zabuza in the neck, killing him. Out of surprise, Kakashi looked up to see a mist ninja wearing an Anbu mask. To everyone's surprise, the ninja was a kid, no older than Naruto. Thank you very much. I have been searching for the opportunity to kill this criminal, the mysterious ninja said. That mask, you must be a Kiri hunter ninja, Kakashi stated. The ninja agreed. What the hell? Who are you? Naruto said as the hunter ninja caught his attention. Back down, Naruto, Kakashi ordered. He's not our enemy. It's not that. He killed Zabuza, our enemy, that easily. Who the hell is he? Naruto blurted. Naruto, in this world there are kids younger than you, but stronger than me. Just accept that fact, Kakashi stated. With that, the hunter ninja took Zabuza's body and disappeared. For Kakashi, something still wasn't right, and it wasn't his lack of energy as he collapsed to the ground. The three Jonin and Tazuna then proceeded to carry their lazy sensei's body towards Tazuna's house. Back near the site of the battle, the Mist Ninja was preparing to do something with Zabuza's body. He pulled out a pair of scissors to cut the bandages off Zabuza. That's all right. I'll do it myself, Zabuza said, waking up from his death. Damn, you sure are rough. Zabuza pulled the senbon out of his neck. You shouldn't be rough yourself, or else you will die from pulling them out, the masked ninja said. How long are you going to wear that mask, Haku? Zabuza asked. It reminds me of the old days. Plus it is useful in situations like this, Haku said, removing his mask. His face was rather young and looked rather feminine, although he was a boy. You shouldn't move for about a week, while you heal. Humph, you're so pure and clever. That's what I like about you, Zabuza said. That's because I'm just a kid. Haku smiled. Kakashi woke up, feeling something was wrong and scaring Naruto and Sakura so much that they nearly choked on the food they were eating. What's wrong, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked. Hunter ninjas usually dispose of the body on sight. How did the hunter ninja dispose of Zabuza? Kakashi asked. I don't know, he just took the body and disappeared, Sakura said, her words not reassuring Kakashi. Sasuke also realized what Kakashi was thinking. There was no way simple needles could kill Zabuza like that. He was still alive. What the hell do you mean? Naruto shouted out. "You even said he was dead." "I did. But that was most likely a momentary death," Kakashi explained. He knew about the body structure thoroughly, and he used a weapon with a low chance to kill. He was there to save Zabuza, not kill him. "There is no assurance that Zabuza is alive or dead, but I say we have a week's time before Gato rallies another, stronger opponent or Zabuza returns. You guys will need training. Over the next week, we will try to make you strong before Gato returns." "What's a little training going to do?" Sakura said, taking Naruto's place as the loudmouth on the team. "Sakura, who saved me back there?" Kakashi said. "You guys are growing rapidly, especially you Naruto. So we will train until then." "Sounds like fun," Naruto shouted, reclaiming his title as Team Loudmouth from Sakura. "That's no fun," a little boy said, appearing in the room. "Oh, Inari. You're here," Tazuna said. "This is Inari, my grandson. Inari, say hello to everyone. They are ninja who protected me." The boy turned to his mom and grandpa. "Mom, they are going to die," the little boy said. "There is no way that they can win against Gato." "What the hell are you talking about, you little brat?" Naruto said, only to be held back by Sakura. "Listen kid, one day I'm going to become an incredible ninja and Hokage. I don't know who this Gato guy is, but I'm not going to lose against him." "What are you, stupid?" Inari responded, sending Naruto into an even greater rage. "If you don't want to die, leave." With that, Inari left. Tazuna apologized for his grandson's behavior and explained to everyone how his father was killed by some of Gato's thugs. Naruto had followed the boy, who was in his room crying, but he decided to leave the kid alone. Kakashi had brought his team out to the edge of a lake. Kakashi knew it was true, Zabuza was alive, and he would most likely be back. With the false death that the hunter Nin had put Zabuza in, Kakashi figured he had about a week to get his team ready for the inevitable rematch with Zabuza and whatever else he brought with him. "Kakashi-sensei, so what are we doing?" asked Sakura. "Easy, we are making you stronger," replied Kakashi. "I have the next chakra control exercise for the three of you, water walking." "What? Water walking?" asked Sakura and Naruto in unison. Was that even possible? Apparently it was. Kakashi demonstrated by gathering chakra in his feet and hobbling with his crutches out onto the water, remaining afloat on top of the surface. Naruto and Sakura looked on in amazement, with Sasuke looking on with an indifferent expression. "You are to expel chakra from the base of your feet at a constant rate, keeping you afloat on the surface," explained Kakashi. "You saw how I did it, now I want the three of you to try," he instructed. Naruto was the first to try, gathering chakra into his feet and taking a step out onto the water, only to fall straight in, soaking himself. Sakura was next. Much to Kakashi's surprise, she had managed to stay afloat, even though she was bobbing like crazy, trying to get herself to stabilize. After a few minutes, she finally had the flow of chakra down and was standing on the surface just like Kakashi was. "Wow Sakura, it's great that you can already do that," shouted Naruto. Sakura turned around, giving a slight smile while scratching the side of her face. She had hoped to get a positive response from Sasuke, not Naruto. Sasuke was last, confident that he would get it. He took a step onto the water. Like Naruto, he fell through the surface. Kakashi instructed the three of them to work on the exercise. Since Naruto and Sasuke hadn't gotten it done yet, they had to get the technique down first. Sakura, on the other hand, had already managed to stand on the water after the first attempt. Kakashi attributed her success to her superior chakra control over the two boys. For the next 2 days, Kakashi had all three of them working on the exercise. He had Sakura refining the technique by doing various physical exercises such as running, jumping, and skating on the surface of the water. Sasuke and Naruto were still struggling to get the water walking exercise, and much to Sakura's delight, had resorted to taking off all but their shorts so their clothes wouldn't become any more soaked than they already were. It wasn't so much Naruto she cared for, but a shirtless Sasuke was too much to pass up. This was the one time in the exercise where she completely lost her focus and ended up falling through the surface into the water. At the end of the second day, Naruto and Sasuke were getting close. They were each able to hold the chakra flow for a few seconds before falling through. Like the tree climbing exercise, they had inadvertently turned this into some sort of competition, not wanting the other one to best them. Late at night, Sasuke managed to get the exercise down first, but Naruto was only an attempt or two behind, showing Sasuke that the Dobi really wasn't that far behind after all. Back at Tazuna's house, Naruto and Sasuke showed up, finally. Kakashi was glad that the two had finally got the basics down. He gave the two boys one more day to refine their technique while he and Sakura would join Kazuna on the bridge for guard duty. The following day, Naruto and Sasuke were back at the lake, working on the same thing that Sakura was doing the other day. Both boys were getting impatient by this as there was really no way for them to compete against one another. And then Sasuke made a suggestion. "Naruto, fight me," he said. It was true, he wanted to fight Naruto. Even though he always wiped the floor with Naruto back in the academy, he had taken notice of the blonde's rapid progress. Now he wanted to fight the blonde. "What?" asked a slightly surprised Naruto. "You heard me, Dobe. Fight me, right here. The first one to either give up or fall through the surface loses. Or are you afraid, scaredy cat?" taunted Sasuke. That last phrase did it as Naruto accepted the challenge. "That's it, I'm finally going to kick your ass and show you what a good ninja I actually am." Naruto ran at Sasuke, only to receive a foot in the gut, sending him sliding back across the water and through the surface. Round 1 went to Sasuke. "Come on, is that all you've got?" said Sasuke. Naruto picked himself out of the water and caught his breath. "Hey, you wish," said Naruto. "Shadow clone jutsu," he said as 6 clones puffed into existence and attacked Sasuke. All 6 clones and the real Naruto charged Sasuke, and he found himself actually finding a certain difficulty fending off 6 attackers at once. Perhaps there was something more to the Dobe after all. Sasuke won the second match as well, followed by the third and fourth. But each time, the victory came with an increased challenge. Finally, it was getting late at night and the two boys had been going at each other for some time now. Both of them were getting tired and they could feel it. They both barely had enough energy to keep themselves afloat. Perhaps you're not so much of a Dobe after all. Let's go back," said Sasuke. That had been just what he wanted, some actual training that made him stronger, not just some meaningless running and jumping around on the surface of the water. Naruto stared at the Uchiha wide-eyed. Did Sasuke actually compliment him for once? Naruto grinned at the Uchiha. "What's the matter, giving up already?" he huffed. "Dobe, you can barely keep yourself afloat. The last thing I need is to drag your unconscious and drowned body back to Kakashi," said Sasuke, panting as hard as Naruto. Both boys had to admit it. That last match was good enough to bring them to this point. To emphasize on that fact, they had to rely on each other to drag the other home. They finally made it home, only to collapse through the door. "Sasuke!" shouted Sakura, rushing to Sasuke's side. "What happened? You guys are all dirty and bruised?" "Hey, both of us," training said Naruto. Kakashi smiled. "Looks like the two of you have been sparring," he said. Sasuke grinned, kind of, and nodded. "Good. That helps you train not only chakra control effectively, but also taijutsu. Starting tomorrow, you'll be joining us on the bridge," said Kakashi as the two dragged themselves over to the table and began eating just about anything in sight. Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke were at the bridge the next day. Naruto had managed to sleep in. In reality, they most likely forgot about him. At the bridge, there was a problem with the workers leaving their jobs. Apparently the thought of Gato was enough to scare off most of the workers. Having ninja around really didn't help. At noon, Kazuna decided to end work for the day. The 4 of them went into town, only to see the depressing state that Gato was driving the country into. There was little food in the store and most of the population had resorted to thievery. Suddenly, Sakura felt something tough her on the behind. "Pervert!" she screamed, knocking a man hard in the face who was trying to pickpocket her. Shortly after, she felt someone tug on her again. Ready to punch another thief, she soon realized that it was just a child begging for food. As a result, she gave in and gave the kid a handful of candy. "This is why we need the bridge, a symbol of courage. We need these people to let their fears go and once again stand up for themselves. If that bridge can be completed, the city will return to the old times when it was prosperous and happy," Kazuna explained. The 4 of them left early for construction on the bridge. Once again, no one woke Naruto. As Naruto got up and realized that he was late, he headed off into the forest to use as a shortcut to get to the bridge. There, he encountered a beautiful young lady. "Who are you?" Naruto asked, trying to figure out what the lady wanted. "Oh, is this the plant you are looking for?" "Yes, thank you," the woman said. "Oh, that forehead protector. Does that mean you are a ninja?" "Yeah, you notice? I'm a ninja," Naruto said. "And one day, I'm going to become Hokage, the strongest ninja in my village." The girl laughed. "Do you have someone important to you?" she asked. When a person has someone precious to them, they will truly become strong. Yeah, I understand that, Naruto said. I'm going to become strong so that I can protect my friends. The lady go up. You'll become strong, I know it. I hope we'll meet again sometime. I want to see how strong you've become, she said as she walked away. Oh, and by the way, I'm a boy. Naruto's world was shattered. That boy was almost prettier than Sakura, he thought. Arriving at the bridge, Naruto realized that more workers had left, afraid that Gato would kill them if they continued. However, with Naruto there, Tazuna got an idea. Hey kid, those clones of yours, he asked as Naruto looked at him curiously. Can they do anything else besides get hit with a sword? Naruto was now getting a little mad, but Kakashi picked up on Tazuna's thoughts. What he really means, Naruto, is make a bunch of your shadow clones and help with construction on the bridge. That way, this bridge will get completed sooner, and you will really be helping the village here, Kakashi said. Naruto actually agreed. To everyone's amazement, the work on the bridge had shown a lot of progress after that day. The bridge was now only a few days from completion. It was now 1 week since Team 7's encounter with Zabuza. For Kakashi, this meant that they would be seeing Zabuza or another opponent here shortly. As such, Team 7 was on high alert, except for a particular blonde ninja. Yes, Naruto had managed to sleep in once again. However, it was a good thing that he did. Suddenly, a knock came on the door, followed by a crash. Are you Tazuna's daughter? One of the men standing at the hole of a door said. He had long gray hair with a black cap. At his side was a rather large katana. Sorry, but I'm afraid you're coming with us. Tsunami knew she was in trouble. Out of reaction, she grabbed Inari, who was right next to her, and began to run. Before they knew it, the two thugs had her cornered. As for Inari, they only needed one hostage and one of the thugs was dying to cut something up. Should I kill him? The other thug said. This one was larger and more muscular than the first thug. He had a patch over one of his eyes and was also carrying a katana like his partner. Out of desperation, Tsunami did the best she could. You want a hostage, right? She said. If you even touch him, I will kill myself. The bandits were depressed by this. They had really been hoping to kill someone. But they needed a hostage and 2 dead bodies would do them no good. Inari had managed to escape, but the 2 thugs had taken his mother. Sitting in a corner, Inari began to cry and think on what Kakashi had said to him the other day, regarding Naruto. Flashback. You little sissy, Naruto said to him. At that moment, he got up and left the house. Kakashi followed him, hoping to calm the crying boy down. Inari, about Naruto. He didn't mean what he said, but you have to understand that, like you, he didn't grow up with his father around either. In fact, Naruto has never known either of his parents, Kakashi said, trying to calm the crying boy down. He has had a rougher childhood than you can imagine, but he always manages to see the best out of life. Perhaps, he's just tired of crying. He knows what it means to truly be strong, just like your dad. End flashback. After a few moments of reflection, Inari realized that he had to let the crybaby in him go and grow up. He mustered his courage and pursued the bandits. Will I also become strong like Dad? He thought to himself. Upon reaching the bandits, he shouted out, getting their attention. The bandits turned around to face him and his mother called out for him to run. Get away from my mom! He screamed as he charged the bandits. The bandits drew their swords and proceeded to slash at the boy. Their attacks hit, cutting him to pieces, much to the horror of his mother. Inari! She screamed out. But, before she could say any more, Inari disappeared in a cloud of smoke, leaving cut pieces of wood. Sorry for being late. I've been doing that a lot this past week, Naruto said, holding Inari, who was unscathed. But a hero usually shows up at the last seconds anyways. Great job, Inari. Now let me take it from here. The bandits charged at Naruto, who was all alone, or was he? Suddenly, 2 figures appeared from behind and gave the thugs a good kick to the head. Before they became unconscious, the bandits turned to see 2 more Narutos coming at them with their feet only inches from their heads. Naruto then turned to Inari. Sorry for calling you a sissy yesterday. You're actually pretty strong. Inari began to tear up. Damn it. I promised myself I wasn't going to cry anymore. Now you're going to make fun of me, Inari said. Inari, it's alright to cry when you're happy, Naruto explained. With that, he headed off towards the bridge, knowing that something was wrong. Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna arrived at the bridge to find most of the workers either injured or dead. Before they could realize what was going on, the mist began to thicken as Kakashi realized that Zabuza had returned. Hee hee, I see your brats are still shaking, Zabuza called out through the mist. Suddenly, they were surrounded by about a half-dozen Zabuzas. Humph, I'm shaking from excitement, Sasuke responded as Kakashi signaled for him to go. With that, Sasuke defeated the clones with only a few movements of his knives, much to Sakura and Kazuna's surprise. The group looked up to see two ninjas standing before them, Zabuza and that hunter ninja from the other day. The brat has grown. Perhaps I have found myself a rival, eh Haku? The demon of the mist asked. Haku nodded and Kakashi knew that his hunch had been correct. That masked man, he's obviously a comrade of Zabuza, Kakashi said, but was interrupted. I'll fight him, Sasuke said. Tricking us with that stupid act, I hate bastards like that. Sasuke, you're so cool, Sakura shrieked out as Kakashi's sweat dropped. Sasuke engaged the masked figure, who brought some water around him to defend himself from Sasuke's attacks with. Sakura, guard Kazuna and stay by my side. We'll leave the masked ninja to Sasuke, Kakashi ordered as Sakura complied. Sasuke had begun his battle with the masked ninja as the two assaulted each other with a hail of senbon and shuriken. None of the shuriken or senbon hit their target as they had all collided with one another in midair, cancelling the attacks. As the air began to grow moist, so did the ground. Puddles began to form around the two combatants. The masked ninja halted his attack and began to speak. I don't want to kill you, but you won't stand down, will you? The masked ninja said to Sasuke, who responded with his usual response. I see, but you won't be able to keep up with my speed the next time. The ninja began flipping through a series of hand seals and Sasuke rushed towards him, hoping to stop him before he completed some sort of jutsu. Unfortunately, he realized the trap the moment he grabbed onto the arm of the ninja. Now that I have one of your arms preoccupied, you won't be able to counter this. Sutin, flying water needles. With that, the water around them began to rise, forming sharp needles of water. Sasuke channeled some chakra to his legs and jumped up before the needles could impact him. He then retaliated by throwing some shuriken at the masked ninja, who had just barely dodged them. Sasuke then appeared behind the ninja and sent him flying back with a kick to the stomach, much to Zabuza's surprise. Kakashi turned to Zabuza. I can't have you underestimating my students by calling them brats, Kakashi explained. Sasuke is the #1 rookie in the village, Sakura is the brightest, and Naruto as well. Naruto, the #1 hyperactive knuckle-headed ninja in the village. Humph, just because your brat scored one lucky hit, doesn't mean he can take Haku, said Zabuza to Kakashi. He's just getting started and it looks like it's all over for your brat now. Sasuke felt a sudden chill surround him. Hyotan, demonic ice mirrors. Haku called out. Sasuke was shocked that he was now surrounded by a dome of ice mirrors, with Haku's reflection in each one. He tried to figure out what that jutsu was, but he did not remember the Hyotan being one of the common elemental affinities. So he has a blood limit, this will get interesting, thought Sasuke. However, in reality, he was extremely tense, not sure what to expect at all. Now I'll show you my real speed, Haku said. Suddenly, Sasuke was hit with a barrage of needles, none of which severely injured him, this time around. Seeing Sasuke's troubles, Sakura ran to aid him, temporarily abandoning her charge. She threw a kunai at Haku, who came out of the mirror only to catch it. Suddenly, he was knocked onto the ground outside the mirrors. Naruto Uzumaki has arrived, Naruto shouted. That idiot show-off, Sasuke thought as he picked himself off the ground. He was covered in scratches and cuts from the needles, but nothing was fatal, yet. Now that I'm here, the hero usually shows up like this and kicks the enemy's ass instantly, Naruto exclaimed. That idiot, Kakashi said. Zabuza got a little laugh at Kakashi's facial expression. What kind of ninja does he think he is, barging in like that? Naruto threw a few shuriken at the distracted Zabuza, only to have them knocked away by Haku's needles. So you don't want me attacking them? You're soft as always, Haku, Zabuza said to his comrade. Sasuke realized the situation he was in. Apparently, Haku had been holding back. None of those hits were vital, only mere scratches so far. However, after the way he killed Zabuza back by the lake, Sasuke realized that this ninja had deadly accuracy with senbon and he had been holding back. Now that Naruto had arrived though, perhaps Sasuke could get out of this. With the Dobi working on the outside and himself on the inside, perhaps they could take down Haku. Sadly, he would have to swallow his pride for this and allow Naruto to help him, assuming Naruto hadn't done what he just did. Sasuke, I came in here to save you, Naruto said, now inside the ice dome. Sasuke was about ready to beat the knucklehead senseless as Haku resumed his assault. Thinking of the ice, Sasuke made a few hand seals Kaden, Great Fireball Jutsu. With that, Sasuke launched a fireball at the mirror that Haku was in. Unfortunately, the ice mirror did not sustain any damage. Afterwards, Naruto and Sasuke were pelted with a barrage of needle. Naruto made a bunch of clones to attack the mirrors, hoping one of them would be able to get Haku. However, Haku was too fast and the clones were easily defeated. As Naruto and Sasuke were facing Haku, Kakashi stared down his opponent. For a kid to master a jutsu like that, it must be an advanced bloodline, he said. Bloodline? Sakura questioned. It's a deep lineage, a jutsu or style of jutsu passed down by your family. Even I cannot copy it, Kakashi explained. With that, Kakashi revealed his Sharingan, ready to fight Zabuza and end the battle quick. The Sharingan. Only one trick, Kakashi? You should know better than to show your moves to an opponent more than once. Zabuza said. The two Jonin engaged one another, both piercing the other's hands with kunai. You should be honored. You're the first opponent to see my Sharingan twice, Kakashi called out as the two disengaged. I've been waiting to say this line. You can't use the same jutsu on me twice, Zabuza called out as he made a hand seal. Suddenly, the area around them was covered in a thick mist and Zabuza disappeared. Back in the ice dome, damn it. I can't fail here. I have a dream I need to fulfill, Naruto said out loud. Haku then experienced a flashback upon hearing Naruto's words. Flashback? Dream? He remembered himself as a lonely child. His home in the land of water had just been destroyed after the Mizukage's persecution of people with bloodlines. Soon he saw Zabuza standing before him. An unfortunate child, Zabuza said. A brat like you is wanted by no one. You will die with neither freedom nor dreams. Hee, you have the same eyes as me, Haku said to Zabuza, striking some sort of emotion in the demon. End flashback. Dream. Becoming a true shinobi is difficult for me. If possible, I do not want to kill you, nor have you kill me. But if you come at me, I can destroy my kind heart and come at you as a true shinobi, Haku said to Naruto and Sasuke. This bridge is the place we fight to connect our dreams. Please don't hate me. I want to protect someone precious to me, fight for them, and make that person's dreams come true. That is my dream. For that, I can become a shinobi and kill you if I must. Zabuza laughed at what Haku was saying. He knew that Naruto and Sasuke had not killed anyone yet and that they did not know what it was like to truly become a shinobi. Kakashi heard this, but couldn't see anything. The mist was too thick, even for his Sharingan. But he figured that Zabuza couldn't see either. Suddenly, about a dozen shuriken came flying at his and Kakashi just barely managed to block them. Impressive that you were able to block them, Sharingan Kakashi, Zabuza said, appearing behind him. Kakashi turned around to see that Zabuza's eyes were closed. He disappeared back into the mist. Kakashi, you have overestimated the use of your Sharingan. You acted as if you could read my mind and see the future, but that Sharingan is merely a trick. Basically, it involves hypnotism and attention to detail. By using those two abilities together, you can make it seem like you are seeing into the future. The answer to combating it is simple. First, I use the mist to make that keen eye of yours useless. Second, I keep my eyes closed to prevent you from influencing me. However, I am an expert in silent killing. I can kill you just by hearing you. Kakashi was worried by this realization. Zabuza moved to Tezuna and attacked, hoping to take out the bridge builder and Sakura. As Zabuza swung the blade, it was stopped by the steel plate on Kakashi's gloves. Zabuza growled and kicked Kakashi in the gut before swinging his blade again. Kakashi had just enough time to throw himself backwards to dodge most of the attack, however, the blade still sliced across his chest, creating a rather large gash. He slipped back into the mist again, ready to strike another blow. Now, Kakashi had once been in charge of the Anbu and the Sharingan wasn't his only trick. He made a few hand seals. Summoning jutsu, Kakashi said, summoning 8 ninja dogs to his side. He ordered them to find and immobilize Zabuza, which they did without trouble, using the scent of Kakashi's blood on Zabuza's blade to track him. Naruto woke, just in time to see Sasuke take the attack that was intended for him. The needles hit Sasuke in the chest and what appeared to be the liver. Naruto saw Sasuke fall to his knees, just as a single needle that Sasuke had failed to take hit Naruto in the neck, in roughly the same spot where Zabuza was hit when he was killed a week ago. Naruto slipped into darkness. Naruto awoke again, this time finding himself in a damp sewer, unsure of exactly where he was. He heard growling coming from one direction and his curiosity got the best of him. He turned to find the source of the noise. Soon, he found himself standing in for a large gate. "It's about time the two of us met," a strange voice said from behind the bars. "Who's there?" asked a startled Naruto. The voice sounded demonic and it sent Naruto falling back onto his ass. "Why don't you take a close look, child, and see," said the voice. A faint light filled the room and Naruto could see what was behind the bars. "Why, you're the Kkkubi no Kitsune," stuttered Naruto in fear. "Yes, and since you're here, that must mean you're in some sort of trouble," the Kyuubi said to Naruto. "What do you mean?" Naruto said, still trembling in fear. "Are you going to kill me?" "No. Even if I wanted to, the seal on you that keeps me imprisoned in you would prevent me from doing such. If I remember, you were in a battle with a masked man." The fox did his best to conjure an image of what was happening. The thing that shocked Naruto was the image of Sasuke taking the hits for him, saving him, but getting injured in the process. Naruto saw that Sasuke was falling to the ground and feared that Haku had actually managed to kill Sasuke. "I can sense that your friend is still alive, but he may not be for long if you just sit there and do nothing like a blundering idiot. I will give you a little bit of my power for now, but there is something I want to discuss with you later. Now go." With that last bark of the Kyuubi, Naruto was forced out of his mindscape. Finding himself in the real world, facing Haku and a dying Sasuke, Naruto instantly felt a surge of power course through his chakra system. The needles that were stuck in him were forced out and any wounds instantly began to heal. Haku looked on in shock as a red aura began to surround Naruto. Naruto caught Sasuke as he was falling to the ground. Afraid that his teammate was dead, Naruto went into a rage, launching himself towards Haku's image in the mirror. With a strike of his fist, Naruto punched Haku in the mirror and sent him flying backwards. The mirror he was in shattered and the dome collapsed with it. Haku managed to barely regain himself, remaining on his feet, but no longer inside any mirror to protect him from the next assault. Unfortunately for him, this next assault, he would not be able to dodge. His mask was cracked and his head was ringing, most likely suffering from some sort of concussion. Naruto's next attack came swift, a strong punch to the chest that sent Haku skidding to the ground. As Naruto moved over to Haku, ready to deliver the finishing blow. As Naruto lashed out at Haku with his fist, the mask crumbled off, revealing the same boy he had met in the forest only a few days ago. Naruto's attack immediately stopped there. He grabbed Haku by the collar of his robe. "Why?" demanded Naruto. "Why did you kill him? Why are you doing Gato's dirty work? Why?" "Because, I am simply a toolie, to be used by someone else, to accomplish their goal," said Haku, breathing deeply. Naruto was disgusted at the words that came out of Haku's mouth, yet he couldn't bring himself to blame Haku for turning out like that. Naruto could see some familiarity in Haku's eyes. He could see loneliness in those eyes. He determined there that Haku must have lived alone until someone came to him with an offer. Hell, Naruto had almost fallen to the tricks that had manipulated Haku when Mizuki asked him to steal the Forbidden Scroll. "Don't talk about that crap anymore. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. You're a person, not a tool. Don't give me that crap," shouted Naruto, flaring a little bit more of the demonic chakra already in his system. "Perhaps, but it seems like my usefulness is over," said Haku as he pointed into the mist, towards the end of the bridge. Naruto looked over in the direction Haku was pointing. For some reason, he could sense that something was there, something with the intent to kill. Naruto delivered a punch to Haku, enough to knock him unconscious but not enough to kill him as Naruto stormed off towards the source of killing intent. Kakashi was facing Zabuza, who was now immobilized by Kakashi's dogs. Suddenly, he felt a burst of demonic chakra coming from the direction of Naruto. Both he and Zabuza felt it and Kakashi knew what it was. He was afraid that the Kyuubi had broken through the seal. However, Kakashi realized that the seal had not broken and only some of the chakra had managed to leak out. He knew he had to end it. "I have copied 1000 jutsu Zabuza, but now you will see my one original jutsu," Kakashi said, making a few hand seals. Suddenly, a mass of lightning appeared in Kakashi's hand. "Raiten, Raikiri," Kakashi said as he dashed towards Zabuza, intending to kill him with his lightning blade. As Kakashi thrust his hand towards Zabuza, it was intercepted by the most unexpected turn of events. Some man had come flying out of nowhere, crashing into Kakashi's charged hand, taking the Raikiri to his gut. Zabuza looked over at his stroke of just pure dumb luck and realized that man was one of Gato's. "Kakashi, release me so I can dispel the mist and we can get a better look at what is going on," said Zabuza. Of course, Kakashi didn't buy it. "And why should I?" Kakashi asked. The minute I do that, you're either going to resume attacking me or try and kill Tazna. That man is one of Gato's. Haku and I suspected Gato would try to double-cross us and we were planning on killing him after we were done here. If one of his men are here, then that only means that there are more of them here. I just need my arms to get rid of the mist, explained Zabuza. Kakashi thought. Fine, but try anything and the next Raikiri will be going straight through your head, threatened Kakashi. He ordered the dogs restraining Zabuza's arms to let go and Zabuza did as he said he would, release the mist. Once the mist cleared, Kakashi could see what was going on. There was a group of roughly 50 to 60 thugs on the far end of the bridge and Naruto beating up one who was unfortunate enough to get too far ahead. Sasuke, shouted Sakura as she ran to where Sasuke was lying on the ground. There was a faint pulse and she began carefully removing the senbone from the Uchiha pincushion. Zabuza looked over at the battered Haku on the ground and his cold exterior began to melt. Now realizing that the rest of Gato's men could see him, Naruto retreated back to where the rest of the team was. He could feel the demonic chakra drain from him as he did so. So they are not dead yet, how disappointing, Gato called out, looking at the exhausted ninja standing in front of him. Why are you here? Zabuza asked. It's simple. I actually planned to do this from the start. I'm here to kill you, Gato claimed. It's what I do. I hire missing ninja to do my work. They are done, I kill them so that I don't have to pay them. Nice plan, don't you think? The only problem is you. PFFT, Zabuza, the demon of the hidden mist. You can barely stand. Kakashi, this fight is over. I have no more reason to fight you or go after Tazuna, Zabuza said as Kakashi agreed. Gato walked over to Haku, who was lying unconscious on the ground just in front of the rest of the ninja and began beating on the unconscious body. Yeah, take this, you little punk. This is what you get for breaking my arm, shouted Gato. He then pulled out a blade from his side. PHFT. This is what happens to a worthless tool of mine. Naruto tried to rush to save Haku, only to be held back by Zabuza himself. What are you doing? Shouted Naruto. Can't you see that he's going to kill Haku? Don't you even care just a little bit? He's done everything for you and you've done nothing but look at him as a tool. He's more than just that, you're not. Stop, kid, said Zabuza, tears rolling down his face. I know what I need to do. Can I borrow a kunai? Naruto nodded and handed Zabuza one of his knives. Zabuza instantly disappeared and repapered behind Gato, driving the kunai into the back of Gato's skull. You sick, disgusting man. Get away from him, said Zabuza as Gato dropped to the ground, dead. He then picked up the battered Haku and retreated back to where Kakashi and Team 7 were. Hey! You killed our meal ticket. The group of thugs said as they charged the ninja. Kill them. Suddenly, arrows came flying out of some still lingering mist and killed most of the bandits. If you come any further, the citizens of this island will kill you, Inari shouted with all the villagers standing behind him. Inari. Naruto called out. A hero shows up at the last second, right? Inari said, returning a smile to Naruto. To give the thugs one last push to flee, Naruto made about 3 dozen clones while Kakashi did the same, although Kakashi's weren't all shadow clones. The thugs fled the island, the villagers had won their village back. Sasuke, Sakura shouted out in delight as Sasuke opened his eyes. Oog! Sakura, you're heavy, Sasuke responded weakly. Sakura began to cry and soon gave Sasuke a big hug. Sakura, that hurts, Sasuke said. He still had a few needles in him. What about Naruto and that masked kid? Sakura pointed to them and Sasuke saw Zabuza supporting a weak Haku. Why are they not fighting? Gato broke his deal and they are no longer enemies, Sakura said. Naruto turned around and realized that Sasuke was alright. Kakashi then turned to Zabuza. So what are you going to do now? Kakashi asked Zabuza. Right now, I don't really know, Zabuza responded. Naruto then came up to them and began acting like the idiot everyone knew and loved. Hey Kakashi-sensei, can they come back to the village with us? Naruto asked. He then turned to Zabuza. You guys could stop running and start a new life again. Hell, you could even become ninja of our village. You really are an idiot, kid, said Zabuza. However, there was something about that appealed to Zabuza. He never imagined himself settling down again after leaving Kiri, but Haku, perhaps the boy could use some rest. To be honest, I would actually like that, but I am a missing nin and an A-rank criminal. I would just go back to either imprisonment or death. Kakashi-sensei, can't you do anything about that? You're pretty high up, Naruto said. Kakashi figured he would regret this later. For your good work, I can send a message to the Hokage about this, Kakashi said, turning to a surprised Zabuza. Based on the condition of everyone, we will be here at least another week. I will send word to the Hokage, telling him of your intentions. Do realize that if you are given a chance, you will have to undergo extensive analysis to ensure that you mean no harm to the village." Zabuza thought to himself for a moment. Well, if there seems to be a chance, it would be a nice change. Even Sasuke was happy with this. If they come to the village, then that will give him an opportunity for a rematch with Haku. With that, everyone returned to the village to recover. Haku regained conscious, but was groggy and Sasuke was still sore from being a human pincushion. As Kakashi said, they would be there for at least another week and a week's worth of rest was much needed. The following day, Naruto found a quiet place out in the forest to sit down. There was still something he had to do after yesterday. He began meditating, hoping to get into contact with the Kyuubi inside him. "Well, it seems as if you still want to talk," the fox said. "I figured I would at least hear you out. So what is it you want?" Naruto responded. "I want to make an offer with you, kid," the fox said. "And I suggest you listen before you go blowing your mouth off like you normally do." "What do you mean?" Naruto asked, trying to restrain himself from the fox's obvious taunt. "To understand where I'm going with this, you need to understand my past," explained the Kyuubi. "I am one of the 9-tailed beasts that came into existence over 1,000 years ago. During that time, you humans have attempted to gain control of our powers and use us as tools. We, on the other hand, wanted nothing to do with you and minded our own business. Slowly, you humans managed to seal us inside yourselves, inventing the idea of a Jinchuriki." What's a tailed beast? And what's a Jinchuriki?" asked Naruto. Sadly, the Kyuubi knew the kid was going to start asking questions like that. However, he couldn't help but drop his head. "As I said, I am a tailed beast. There are 9 of us in existence. We are demons who are classified by the number of tails we have, starting from the Ichibi and ending at myself, the Kyuubi. Demons usually have some sort of defining feature that distinguishes their power amongst one another. For tailed beasts, it is the number of tails we have. Since I am the Kyuubi, I am the most powerful of the tailed beasts. You with me so far?" Naruto nodded, indicating that he understood what a tailed beast was, at least to an extent. "Now, as for Jinchuriki, let's just say that is what you are." "What are you talking about? I'm a ninja and a person, not a Jinchuriki, whatever that is," replied Naruto. "It doesn't matter if you are a puny human. A Jinchuriki is a human who has a demon sealed inside them," explained the Kyuubi. "So that means you are sealed inside me?" realized Naruto. You're starting to catch on, kid. Now don't interrupt me for a bit and listen to the next part of my story," said the Kyuubi. "Now, being the most powerful of the tailed beasts, I was able to remain free from being sealed the longest. Humans had attempted to capture me, like that pair of weaklings that I ate, but failed. It wasn't until that man came along and used his accursed Sharingan to trap me in some sort of genjutsu which he used to control my actions." "Sharingan? You mean like Kakashi-sensei and Sasuke?" asked Naruto, interrupting the fox's story. The fox growled at Naruto for interrupting him. "Yes, like the eyes your teacher and that other brat you're with have. However, this man's eyes were much colder and much more powerful. He used them to manipulate me into attacking your village almost 100 years ago. With my power, he fought against your Hokage and lost. As a result, I was finally sealed into a human. For the next 88 years, I was sealed inside a Jinchuriki, trying my hardest to escape, but no luck." "Escape? But why?" asked Naruto. "What can I say, I don't like being trapped in a cage," responded the fox. "It was almost 12 years ago that I finally escaped. However, he was there, waiting. I thought he was dead, but that insolent cockroach came crawling back to me." "Hold on," said Naruto. His interruptions were irritating the fox even more. "Who is he?" The Kyuubi growled a bit, letting out some of his killing intent. "Madara Uchiha." "Madara Uchiha? I've heard that name before, but where?" asked Naruto. The Kyuubi explained to Naruto that he probably heard it during class as the battle between Hirashima Senju, the Shodan Hokage, and Madara Uchiha was one of the biggest pieces of Konoha history. Naruto nodded his head and told the fox that was probably the one lecture that he had not slept through. "But wait, Uchiha? Does that mean Sasuke is?" "Yes, that little Uchiha brat on your team is most likely a descendant of Madara Uchiha. However, Madara abandoned his clan in search of power. He was bitter at the fact that his rival, the Shodan Hokage, had received the position of Hokage instead of him, so he left the village. A few years later, He returned to destroy the village using my power. After that, I thought he was dead and I was finally done with that insolent bastard. However, I was wrong. Like I told you, he was the one who freed me from my Jinchuriki vessel 12 years ago. Before I could even take a free breath, he had me under his control. By the time his control ended and I had a free mind again, I was already being sealed into you by that other bastard, the Yondaime Hokage. Hey! Don't insult the Yondaime like that, said Naruto. However, there was something he wanted to know. But, why me? Why did he seal you into me? All I can tell you is that with the seal that he used, I needed to be sealed inside a newborn infant with undeveloped chakra coils, otherwise I would destroy my host upon sealing. I guess you just happened to be the only newborn around. The Kyuubi laughed at Naruto's misfortune, but quickly resumed the remaining portion of his story. For the past 12 years, I have been trapped inside you. We haven't talked until now because you haven't been truly aware of my presence until just yesterday. So if you hate humans so much for sealing you, then why did you help me? Asked Naruto. He wanted to know why the fox had helped him and even gave him the power to save Sasuke, despite an Uchiha being the source of his problems. Because, that is where I am trying to get at. I want to make a deal with you. Although I don't like the idea of working with you, my attempts at freedom these past 100 years have not been that successful. Wait. Did you say work with me? Asked Naruto, who was becoming increasingly excited by the thought of a demon fox at his command. Don't get the wrong idea, kid. I said I would work with you, not submit myself to you, explained the fox. Naruto was now slightly depressed. So what does that mean? He asked. Simple, I will help you and I will even give you the ability to use my chakra, unopposed in certain situations. However, I expect something in return. Naruto knew this was too good to be true. Okay, so what is it you want? He asked. You should know from hearing my story, actually, it's two things I want. I want my freedom from being sealed again after you die, and yes, that day will come in time. I also want you to help me kill that cockroach of an Uchiha. Wait, but if you want your freedom, then what's to stop you from destroying the village? Asked Naruto, now concerned with what the fox was asking. This. The fox rolled a contract out in front of Naruto, revealing his agreement. This is a blood contract. Even to demons, this is binding. Basically, it states that I will lend you my chakra should you find yourself in a situation when it is required. With my help, you could become as strong as or even stronger than the Hokage. What I am trying to say is that I will help you along your journey to become Hokage. But, when you do, you will make sure that I am granted my freedom upon your death. I even promise to leave your village alone once I'm free so long as they don't try to imprison me. Furthermore, I will do whatever is within my power to ensure that you die of old age and not battle, although that will still be a possibility if you get too far in over your head. Wait, what do you mean? How can you help me survive till I'm an old man? Naruto asked. Have you noticed that you heal extremely fast compared to most people? Asked the fox. No. I thought that was normal. The fox nearly face-planted at the kid's cluelessness. Baka, when a human breaks a bone, it takes them weeks to recover, yet you can fully heal in a matter of hours. Naruto just gasped at this. This only served to inflate his already big head. Anyways, you already have an increased healing factor just by the normal flow of my chakra from your seal. If the flow were to be increased, it is possible that you could heal wounds that would kill you. Now Naruto was wondering what the fox meant by a normal chakra flow from the seal. This seal on me allows for a small amount of my chakra to mix with yours, giving you that increased healing factor of yours and even that massive chakra reserve that you've developed. Naruto had already been informed that he had a massive reserve of chakra after he proved that he was able to create thousands of shadow clones on the night of the Mizuki incident. However, this seal does pose a problem. Although it is weakening slowly, allowing me to safely flow some more chakra into your system, it was initially designed to keep the two of us separate. I can't just give you all of my power at the moment because that would break the seal, killing both of us. In fact, the most I can give you right now is just a little more than I gave you yesterday. What? But I thought you had a ton of chakra to give. Shouted Naruto. I do. The amount of chakra that I possess is so large, that it is considered infinite by your human standards, but this seal prevents me from releasing it all at once. If I try to force more chakra through the seal than it can take at the time, then I run the risk of breaking it, effectively killing the two of us. The more chakra that flows through the seal, the more stress it puts on your body. I have noticed that the seal weakens over time, which will allow you to use even more of my chakra in the future. I also believe that there is a key that can safely open this seal, allowing us to merge our chakra completely, and you will have full access to my powers and I will have the power to kill that bastard." Naruto thought about what the Kyuubi had said, looking over the contract in front of him. The terms on the contract were exactly the same as what they had discussed. However, he saw a name on the contract that he didn't quite recognize. "Who's this Kurama listed on the contract?" asked Naruto. "That would be me. Kurama is my true name. So what do you say, Kit? Do we have an agreement?" Naruto took a few more moments to think about what they had discussed. Finally, he figured that everything was okay and signed as part of the contract as Kurama did the same. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.